Chapter 1 Into the Unknown, an original golf battle story written by Defiant Shadows. We find ourselves in the town of Custonia, a land where only the skilled survive. To eat tonight, you must navigate the laserback alley to reach the hole in the floor restaurant. The only problem is the streets are treacherous and lined. You must tread carefully. Adventurer, you have lucked out as you have made it to the restaurant. However, now, after having consumed a lot of food, will you be able to get out? It seems to prove a little bit more difficult. It's a tough squeeze through the tough doors not meant for a traveler of your size. More of just like a hobbit back door restaurant. However, you have seemed to have made it, and now you must travel home. However, as it gets dark, your father has warned you that if you stay out too late, the gates will be locked, and indeed, you are now trapped. Looking around, you find in the yard an old war catapult that your father once used. You take a moment to think about it. What else do I got to lose? You take in and wind up and take to the sky. You land in the castle, however, you fall through the floor into the old dungeons below. Can you find your way out? You're unsure. You've never been in this cave and you've never explored this part before. Will this be the end? You're not sure. But as you start exploring, you find some lights in the distance, and you think you've found your way. As you make your way through, you eventually find your way that leads you to a fork in the road. Shall you go straight, right, or left? You are unsure. You decide just to keep traveling as you are, as you think you see light and hear noises in the distance. As you keep traveling, you eventually make your way. However, as you go, the floor crashes once again. As you regain your composure, you find yourself now standing atop a great waterfall. Well, what's there less to lose? You can't go back now. Whee! You cry as you bobble and tumble down a rush of water into the deep, frigid water below. You now find yourself in the Green's Forest. You know it well. You've seen it from the castle, a vast expanse covering nearly 80 miles. Well, you can't go back as the sheer cliffs were too slippery and treacherous, and you'd surely not make it. You trudge onwards. However, after several days now, you make it to a clearing, an old pass that once stood as a great battleground between Custonia and the Minicleep armies. There are still some old war machines and rifles lying about. It's getting dark. You must rest for the night. So, in order to abide your time, you find some old rifles and take aim at some targets in the distance. Well, now several more days have passed. You still haven't eaten. Your tummy rumbles. It's been roughly a week since your last full meal. As day turns to dusk, a glow in the distance starts to catch your eye. A windmill, a town must be above. A seafaring, bustling town. Oh, you know it. This was the town of the Windy Cliffs. However, in order to get in, it may prove a little bit more difficult. The town has never taken kindly to your father. He seemed more like a tyrant than a ruler. You are still wearing your house colors. You strip down to try to pass unassumingly through the guards. You have seemed to have made it for now. However, what adventures will lie await for you in the Windy Cliffs? Tune in next time to find out.